Hi guys, thanks very much for checking out the channel. Today's video is going to be 3 tips on, and potentially a bonus one actually at the end, to improve your ball striking through the winter. I played on Monday. This was after Storm Babette come through on the Friday, and everywhere is very, very wet underfoot. They did very well to have the golf course open. But obviously ball striking in those wet conditions is a bit difficult. But I was fortunate enough to see sort of tour level professionals all the way down to sort of fairly raw amateurs. And there are things that you adjust in your setup, or the better players adjust in their setup to make ball striking that much easier in these conditions that, the average golfer just wasn't doing. So today, that's what we're going to have a look at in sort of long game pitching, chipping, and hopefully you get a bit more out of your golf through the winter. So actually, one of the things that sort of inspired me to make this video was I was on the range at the start of the day. We're just hitting some sort of practice shots. My playing partner was on the range. I've seen him for some lessons through the summer. He was hitting the ball nicely on the range, no problems there. Obviously, I just went to have a little look, sort of friendly advice. And one of the bits of advice I gave him, just because the conditions were so wet, was to try and keep his centre, so his chest, over the top of the ball a little bit more, rather than sort of loading up that right side and coming in. And what that does by keeping your chest over the ball is steepen that angle of attack. Obviously, with the wet ground conditions, if you catch that ground first, it absorbs all your speed, all your power. You get very muddy if you take too much as well, and you just don't hit a great shot. So it's worth trying to, sacrificing a little bit of that distance for a bit of ball striking by just keeping that chest over the ball and dropping that club down a little bit. Now, the grass practice area in front of us, it's not really too fit for use today. And through the winter, a lot of us are going to be pushed onto mats. So I just want to give you a drill to pretty much help with the ball striking in your long game. It's a fairly easy drill to set up, and you might have even seen this one before. It's not new. It's been around a long time. But essentially, we're going to use a towel, and I've got a few balls here. So basically, 3 ball widths back. 1, 2, 3, and the towel is going to be laid sort of behind the striking area. So you can put a little T-peg or lever ball sort of here, just so you know where to set it up for ease. But, this is essentially the drill setup. Just get rid of these quickly. The idea is, if you come in a little bit shallow, you're going to, nudge your towel. If you manage to stay over the ball and come down a little bit steeper, the towel's going to stay where it is. So let's hit one. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can keep my chest over the ball and hit a decent one here. Okay, so that might have actually been one of the best shots I've hit in a little while. So we'll definitely take that to give you an idea of how mucky and horrible this is. That's just come off my club face on the mat. But again, didn't move the towel, hit a really nice shot. This will give you instant feedback. So set it up, give it a go, and it'll improve your striking through the winter. So the second tip is to help you out with your pitching in these sort of wet conditions. What we're going to do is, from your normal pitching setup, we're just going to move the ball back about a ball width in your stance. Now, when we're hitting this shot, it's going to make the club come down and sort of strike down into the back of the ball a lot steeper than it normally would. This is because the turf is wet. The bounce doesn't work quite as well on the club. So what we want to do is strike the ball a little bit cleaner. Because of the steepness of the angle, because we've got the ball back in our stance a little bit more, we're going to get a deeper divot. That's absolutely fine. We're just after that initial strike to begin with. So let's give it a little go. See if we can play one here. Ooh. We've hit a very nice one. And you can see, hopefully, it is a deep divot. That was golf ball first, and then the divot was taken. So don't worry if that divot does get a little bit deep. That's absolutely normal. That's what we've set up for. That was a lovely connection, golf ball, and then ground, and we've hit a nice shot onto the green. Now, what this also does, the ball will come out a little bit lower than usual, which is, again, fine. You've de-lofted the club because you're hitting down on it a little bit more. But that doesn't matter so much in the winter because the ground's a lot softer on the green, so it's going to have that stopping power. So again, from the back, ball position is further back in the stance, trying to get that clean strike, line it up, and then we'll hit the shot. Ooh. A touch left, but pretty good. This is the third tip I'm going to give you, and it comes down to chipping. Now, one of the things I see a lot of people do is use too much loft when they're chipping in the winter. Because of the greens are so much softer than what they normally are, the ball's going to sit up and it's not going to run as much. Now, my favourite club, personally, to use around the green for chipping is my 50-degree wedge. So, at the minute, it's landing on the greens, it's checking up, it's not rolling out, it's what it should do. However, my pitching wedge that I've got in my hand here actually performs very similar in the winter because it's got less loft, but the place where it lands and the place it rolls to is very, very similar to what I expect my 50-degree wedge to do. So when I'm chipping at the minute, I'm picturing the same spot to land it on. Okay, it's a slightly smaller swing, but that actually makes it easier to strike the ball. And I can pick that spot, land it on it, it's rolling out to what I expect. I'm very happy, I'm not having to change anything, I'm not getting that really annoying, oh, I've hit that really well, it's checked up, and now I'm miles short. It's kind of landing on the green and getting somewhere very close. Some of the time, most of the time. So, another thing is, with the setup, again, like your pitching, the ball is going to go slightly back in your stance. Again, we do not want to be messing around with this soft soil, and we don't want to get the wet grass in between club face and ball. So, just moving that back a fraction, just favouring the back half of the stance just. We're also going to get nice and close. We're going to be a little bit sort of toe down. So when I mean toe down, sort of that way. So the heel is just slightly off the ground. This is slightly exaggerated. But we're going to get nice and close. And we're going to just open the club face. So if that was square, that would be open. It probably wants to go to about 1 o'clock, maybe half 1 on a clock face. Just fraction open. And that will just allow that bounce to be used a little bit more efficiently because we do not want to get stuck in the mud, as it were. Now, when we're nice and close, it's going to make the club go away from you a little bit more, which is absolutely fine. That's a good thing on this occasion. Because the toe is down, we've got less turf interaction, which is also very good because it's not very pleasant at the minute. So all in all, nice and close to the ball with toe down. Out, through. We've hit a shot and it is close. Let me turn the camera around. Be able to see this. So, yeah, just there. Not too bad. I doubt I'll get any closer, but I'll just show you from this angle. So again, my ball's a little bit back in my stance. My toe of my club it looks down to me. And then we're just going to take that little shot back and through. I've not hit that anywhere near as well as the first one, but no problems. The ball came up. There's a chance of getting up and down from there. Not too bad a putt. But like you say, I didn't hit that well, but that technique just makes the ball pop up into the sky. Makes life very easy for yourself, and you don't have to worry about sort of fatting it or thinning it. It just kind of pops up nicely. Now for the bonus shot, and this is going to be the Texas wedge. So the idea of this is I've got my 58-degree wedge out, or use your most lofty club in your bag. I'm going to open the club face a little bit, and we're just going to try and nudge the ball forward like a putt. But because we've got this nice and thin edge, it cuts through the grass very nicely. It's hardly affected by whatever conditions we're in, and you can kind of just bump the ball forward towards the hole. So when we're in sort of a tricky position here, you're short side of yourself. It's very, very scary shot. If you chip it onto the apron, it could stop because it's wet. If you chip it too far, it's probably going to roll forward. So let's try a little Texas wedge shot. Halfway through, using it like a putter, ball middle of the stance. Let's see if we can get somewhere near. We'll take that out of there. And we'll try one more from another angle. So here we are. Hopefully you can see the ball is sat down. It's pretty horrible. I'm not sure if this is going to come out, but we'll give it a go. Let's see if this works again. Oh no! I've hit it far too hard. But, you know, that was my lack of confidence it coming through. Like I say, it will cut through the grass very nicely, and it's a little bit more consistent than trying to chip it from this position. There it is, 3 tips and a bonus one to try and help you strike the ball better through the winter. I know how difficult it is. Hopefully this will help you get a bit more enjoyment out of your game. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we'll see you at the next one.